In German Bundesliga 0-4-5 Bundesliga round 13, Korobov steers the game into a well-known Sicilian defense Kahn variation Polugevski variation, testing Ferreira's preparation. On e4. On c5. Knight f3. On e6. On d4. On takes d4. Knight takes d4. On a6. Bishop d3. This position is typical of Sicilian defense, Kahn variation Polugevski variation. Bishop c5. Threatening bishop takes d4. Knight b3 played by Korobov. Threatening knight takes c5. Bishop a7 played by Ferreira. Knight c3. Korobov is aiming to play Queen g4, Knight f6, Queen g3, and seize the initiative. On d6 played by Ferreira. Queen e2, Knight c6, Bishop d2, Knight ge7. On h4 it is novelty move. King castled kingside. On h5. On h6. On g4. On f6. On f4. On e5. King castled queenside. On takes f4. Bishop takes f4. Knight e5. Threatening bishop takes g4. Bishop takes e5 played by Korobov. On takes e5. Rook hf1. Rook f4. Threatening bishop takes g4. Rook takes f4 played by Korobov. On takes f4. Bishop c4 check. King h8. Ferreira might go for Knight c6. Knight d2. Knight e5. Knight f3. Bishop takes g4. Knight takes e5. Bishop takes e2 and establish a winning position. On e5 played by Korobov. Bishop e3 check. King b1. Threatening rook takes d6. Knight c6 played by Ferreira. On e6 time to think, find the best continuation for Ferreira. Knight e5 is logical continuation as Knight e4. Knight takes c4. Queen takes c4. Queen e7. Rook takes d6. On b5 position is equal. Let's go to the main variation. On e6. On b5 is not the best move played by Ferreira. Threatening pawn takes c4. Bishop d5 played by Korobov. Threatening bishop takes c6. Bishop b7 played by Ferreira. Knight e4. Korobov's idea is to play Knight g3. Queen c7. Knight f5. Knight e5. Bishop takes b7. Queen takes b7. On e7 and increase their advantage significantly. Queen e7 played by Ferreira. Knight g3. Korobov is aiming to play Knight f5. Queen c7. On g5. Knight e7. Knight takes e3. On takes e3. Bishop takes b7 and dominate the board. On takes g3 played by Ferreira. Queen takes e3. Knight d8. Bishop takes b7. Knight takes b7. Knight d4. Korobov is preparing to play Knight f5. Queen g5. Queen takes g3 and put immense pressure on the opponent. Knight c5 played by Ferreira. Queen takes g3. Rook e8. Rook e1. Korobov might go for Knight f5. Queen f6. On e7. Knight a4. On c3. Knight b6. Queen takes d6 and take decisive advantage. Queen f6 played by Ferreira. Queen takes d6 time to think find the best continuation for Ferreira. Queen f2 is the correct move because Rook d1. Knight e4. Queen c6. Knight f6. Queen takes a6. On b4 still Ferreira is losing. Let's analyze the main game. Threatening queen takes d4. Queen takes d6 played by Korobov. Knight e4 is not the best move played by Ferreira. Threatening knight takes d6. Queen c6 played by Korobov. Knight d2 check. King a1 do not rush. Can you find the strongest move for Ferreira? Rook f8 is logical continuation as Knight f5. Knight c4. On c3. Rook g8. Queen e4. Rook e8 still Ferreira is losing. Let's go to the main variation. King a1. Threatening queen takes e8 check. Rook e7 slightly worse move played by Ferreira. Threatening queen takes d4. Knight f5 played by Korobov. Threatening knight takes e7. Knight c4 played by Ferreira. On c3 think carefully what is the best move for Ferreira. On a5 is the right idea because Knight takes e7. Queen takes e7. Queen takes b5. Knight takes b2. Queen takes b2. King h7 still Ferreira is losing. Let's go to the main game. Threatening queen takes b2 mate. On c3 played by Korobov. Knight e5 slightly worse move played by Ferreira. Queen a8 check. King h7. Knight takes e7 Ferreira saw no escape and decided to resign.